Logitech's new Harmony Express packs Alexa. Your Android phone is now Google Security Key, USB-C laptop chargers, and more, all coming up on TekThing. Thank you, patrons. Without your support via patreon.com/TekThing, we wouldn't be able to make the show for you every week. Please join the crew that makes TekThing possible. Patreon.com/TekThing is the place to go. Thank you.
I'm Shannon Morse.
And I'm Patrick Norton.
And this is TekThing, where we have something useful in every single show.
Incredibly useful things.
Yes.
I was very excited.
I am excited too, because I had sugar before the show.
You had way too much sugar.
I had so much sugar.
I'd asked what you ate, but if it's what I think you ate so much of it that I would not be able to not look aghast and slightly terrified.
Pretty much.
So we're going to try to get this recorded before the sugar crash.
Yes.
Because if the sugar
That's not
crashes,
going to be fun.
Yeah, we're going to have to take one of these cameras and point it at the floor where Shannon would be drooling.
I'll lay there and like read this script off of my camera or off my phone. It'll be so sad.
Nothing worse than a sugar hangover in a studio.
That's true. I've been there.
Goodness.
We aren't here to talk about that though.
But it's kind of fun.
It is.
Because also you're talking really fast today, which is really fun.
That is, yeah.
She was trying to get me to talk about Logitech's new Harmony remote. Logitech's Harmony remotes, they've been known for like three things for years. One, they replace a pile of remotes with a single remote. They tend to make everything simpler by bundling all of your gear into activities, and they just freaking work.
Yay!
So this week, Harmony announced something radically different, the Harmony Express. This is like a minimalist remote with ALEXA built in. So instead of dozens of buttons and an LCD screen, it's your voice.
I like that.
And a very simple remote. And to put this into context, so this is the Express remote. And right over here, you're seeing kind of a classic Harmony remote where it's got an LCD screen and lots of buttons, or in this case, lots and lots and lots of buttons. These work, by the way. And the nice thing about Harmony is they've been watching people use remote controls for approximately forever, and they really thought the process out. For example, you don't call out for ALEXA, which is...
What do?
You press this primary, basically the big button on the remote.
Oh,
then
I
you
love
say,
that.
turn on Apple TV, or go to HBO, or go to Netflix app.
So it's not constantly listening. You have to actually activate it. That's awesome.
And if you already have ALEXA devices in your house, you don't have to worry about having lots of devices responding while you're trying to watch a television program or a movie. It just works. It's really nice. So the setup is, if you are familiar with universal remotes from Harmony, for example, it's pretty familiar. There's a blaster, kind of a base station, and an IR mini blaster in the box. So this goes into wherever your components are next to your television. In my case, this goes in the closet where all of my gear is, and this goes outside the closet door so it can zap IR instructions to my projector.
Cool.
Setting up the Express is pretty simple. If you can download and install an app and drag some icons and type a little bit, you can configure this system. It's all done by an app on your Android or iOS phone. I did it all on my iPhone. It walked me through adding and configuring my home theater gear, in my case an Epson projector, an Onkyo AVR, an Apple TV, a Roku, a Sony Blu-ray player, and a HomeWorks over-the-air TV tuner.
Yay.
That in other situations has caused me no end of trauma. And I had to, last time I set up that HomeWorks over-the-air tuner, I had to do it all manually.
Yeah.
Which brings me to a web page that I am kind of in love with. If you think you have something that won't work on a Logitech Harmony, there's two things. One, you can manually program stuff, but you should search here for manufacturer and the product or model name, and they probably already have configured it for somebody somewhere. You know, like I was laughing. I had to type out like Epson for the manufacturer, and 3500 didn't work. But typing Home Cinema 3500 was immediately recognized and configured. That was about the only problem I had.
Cool.
I was lazy, and it made me type the whole thing out with my thumb.
I've had similar experiences with the Logitech Harmonies where like I have this HDMI switcher that I randomly got off Amazon, and it recognizes it even though it's like brandless. And I was like, how do you know what this thing is?
I don't care.
I don't care. It just works. Sounds a lot easier nowadays though with the application.
This is a pretty different application and setup than I've done with Harmony in ever, period. And the nice thing, like you're saying, like I'm saying, Harmony has this insane collection of data for devices you might want to control. And it's just nice that they've kind of thought this through. Once my devices were found, the app walks you kind of backwards. You start with the first HDMI input on your television, or in my case, my projector, HDMI 1, and then I connected, I mean I dragged a little icon up to connect my AVR to the screen. And then for HDMI 1, I dragged up like my Apple TV and then my Roku, my Blu-ray player, and all the other devices I wanted to attach. If you can go like this, you can basically configure your home theater system. The app also opened up the Amazon app to add the Express, so I could use ALEXA with it. And then the remote itself talked me through the basic commands, things like, as I mentioned earlier, go to channel 206, go to DVR, go to Netflix app, turn on Apple TV. And you have to, of course, use the basic commands or everything goes haywire. So I'm anticipating a little bit of friction in the education process in my home, as there always is when I test a new remote control, always. But I end up with thoroughly tested devices with a wide and diverse set of opinions about how they function. We were talking about how the Harmony Express does stuff. One thing it doesn't do at this point is control additional gear in an activity. If you are a geeky kind of person, maybe your Harmony remote does lots of things when you hit an activity button. So if I ask the Express to turn on the Xbox, it'll set the TV and the AVR to the right inputs while the Xbox powers up. You can hit the button and you can ask ALEXA to turn off the living room lights. But you can't automatically have your Philips Hue lights dim when you fire up the Xbox or Blu-ray player. That kind of thing has been sort of a staple or one of the big attractions for home theater geeks for the Harmony remotes for years. To grossly misquote and paraphrase Logitech's reps, this may be somewhat more nerdly and less common than I had thought. So, by the way, if you want to do the super granular control of all the stuff in your house, all of the other Logitech remotes, they're not going away anytime soon. The Harmony Elite, the Companion, the 950, there's still
all
lots and lots and lots of options. So if you want to do really crazy activity controls, you can still do that with all those different Harmony remotes.
And I'm assuming if you had one of these and you had like your Philips Hue and an Echo device in your house, you could just tell your Echo to turn on your room or whatever, and then just use this for your TV stuff.
Yeah, I mean...
So you have options.
I know, but I was talking, I said you could ask ALEXA to turn it off, but you see, I want to do the bink.
Yeah, and then everything happens.
Alexa, enable magnificent home theater experience and have stuff going off everywhere.
So we're not quite there yet.
Not quite there yet. Who knows what will happen? You can also do all the regular ALEXA stuff with it. You can hit the button and ask it for the weather, or you can ask it to, change the temperature, or turn off the lights, or whatever you use ALEXA to do already.
Cool.
I gotta say, I really love hitting the button instead of calling out ALEXA's name.
I like that too.
In part because a lot of my home automation stuff, all my voice control stuff is all in one small 20 by 15 foot garage. So when I talk to one device, all of them respond, which is irritating. The voice control, I gotta say, might be an issue in my house. I have a voice control resistant spouse, and there are some things you can't do with the Express without them. The remote's 4-way buttons, they are great for navigating. It's got play and pause and fast forward and rewind. It's got volume controls and mute, but you can't, say, switch between your over-the-air tuner and a Roku without using a voice command. Now, you can use the remote without voice commands to switch between, say, Netflix and Amazon on your Apple TV or inside of the Roku, but you can't switch between devices without talking to it.
Good to know.
Time will tell, but I can already cheerfully state that setting up and getting the family up to speed on the Harmony Express was considerably faster than it was for the Kavo Universal Remote.
Yay!
But the Express isn't currently trying to deliver the ability to call out individual titles of the show to automatically launch them in a very granular and sophisticated and kind of intense AI managed way. Logitech claims that the 1 month between battery charges. I've had the device less than a week. Haven't had to charge it yet for what that's worth.
How's it charge?
Micro USB.
Oh, micro USB. Yeah. Why isn't it USB-C?
Because I assume this was cheaper. Or
it is cheaper.
They knew that more people have micro USB cables currently. They give you a cable in the box, so I'm not going to complain too much. But yes, we would both prefer USB-C. Harmony also built a remote finder into the Harmony app, so the remote will sing out when the cat buries it under the cushions, as the cat is wont to do. The Harmony Express is not going to replace the traditional kind of Harmony remotes in their lineup, at least not anytime soon. For folks that have a tight relationship with ALEXA-enabled products, it is a natural. For folks looking for a simplified remote, and this is pretty simple given everything it does when you ask it to do it, this should be on the short list. Super tempting. The price, though, is going to be a challenge for a lot of folks. You can pick up a basic Harmony 350 for like $50. And I think if I scroll way down here, there it is. The Harmony 350 costs about $50. You can get a 665, which adds the LCD display, for $70. But at $249, the Harmony Elite is like $350. The Harmony Express is $250. And I gotta say, they put a lot of time and development into this. They did a lot of thoughtful things. This is cheap compared to a $2,000 OLED screen, especially if you got another 1,000 or 1,500 into your home theater speakers and blah, blah, blah. And it is so much less annoying than juggling remotes. And if you like ALEXA, this really fits in well. But in a world where $600 or $700 gets you a pretty badass 4K HDR TV, it is a significant investment.
Mm-hmm. So, well, I'm kind of sold, and I kind of want one.
You are deep in the ALEXA lifestyle.
I am, and I am very well aware of the current security information. Check out my ThreatWire episode on ALEXA for that. But yeah, I like it. I like that it's so minimalist and that it lasts for a month. That's much longer than my current Harmony remotes.
One thing I will be doing is figuring out how to lower the volume of ALEXA's response.
Oh, good.
Because it seemed really...
Does it come out of there?
It comes out of here.
Oh, the little speaker on the back.
It talks in your hand.
Oh, it's a little talking microphone.
Kind of like when a bird poops in your hand, but with less of a mess to clean up.
All right, so with that, ask at TekThing.com, or you can tweet us at TekThing if you have any questions about that, as well as...
Oh, you can tweet at Patrick Norton or at
Snubs. Patrick, have you ever been fished?
Yes.
Really? You have?
Everybody's been fished.
Oh, I have too, actually. I have been fished. Did you fall for the fish?
Not in the last 8 or 9 years.
Good. That's excellent to hear. You know, I actually fell for one recently, but I immediately knew what it was, and I was like, nope, change my password, and then it was fine.
For those of you in the audience who might be going, why are we
talking about fish?
Phishing has a security implication.
It does. So phishing is where an attacker uses a fake site, for example, to trick you into giving away your information. So it might look like your bank account or a Facebook account or something like that. It's still the most common cause of security breaches for companies.
And spear phishing is the really nasty one, where they basically figure out by tracking email who they want to attack inside of an organization, and they create very custom and official looking emails. And you go, oh, this is a TP2742 response from Bob in accounting, and you just click, and then you're owned.
So that's why Google, for example, they're working to make two-step verification the norm. But in order for it to become the norm for like day-to-day users, especially people like my mom who doesn't necessarily want to give that kind of time to security and privacy, you got to make it more convenient for the users.
Are you saying that entering in some information on a website and then waiting for that website to send me a text message, which may or may not be spoofed, and then entering that message into the website is not perhaps the height that security can be?
I feel like people just ain't gonna do it.
So I should buy one of those. I was about to say weird little Yubikeys, but I have nothing
love
but respect for
Yubikeys.
Yubikeys are amazing. They're incredibly smart.
I would totally buy a Yubikey.
But a lot of people are like, I'm not buying a Yubikey.
Right, exactly. So that's why I was reading over at Krebs On Security, which is an excellent security blog by Brian Krebs. Apparently, Android 7.0 Plus phones can now double as Google security keys. So what happened was on April 10th, Google announced that they are doing just that. So starting in beta, you will be able to use your phone as a security key option, as opposed to like a SMS text or a authenticator application or a Yubikey. And this is already built into Android 7.0 devices. So it's like everybody already has one if you have Android 7.0. You don't have to do anything.
And this is different from running the Google Auth app on your iOS or Android device.
Right, exactly.
What does it do?
Isn't that weird?
It is weird.
So it basically means that you can unlock your account with a phone instead of having to carry around that physical security key or downloading that application. Google does recommend using this option to protect your personal Google account starting off, and then any work-related accounts too that are Google's, like Google accounts.
Right.
What are those called? Google Cloud accounts,
I don't know.
I believe they're called.
I'd pay $10 to them. every month to do a bunch of stuff, but here, you keep talking.
One
I'll
of
look
those.
up what it is.
So they say that it's the ultimate account security, which is now in your pocket. So folks that already have joined the Advanced Protection Program, which we did cover previously over on TekThing, you can find out more. I'll put this link in the show notes. But basically, Advanced Protection Program requires 2 security keys, and it locks down your Google account even further. And then you can use your phone for 2-step verification now as one of those 2 options that you have. But if you don't have advanced protection, you can just use this as one verification option as opposed to just putting in a username and password. So you would also have a security key, which is now your phone. So there are a few steps that you have to go through if you want to set up your phone as a security key. So they do list all of the different steps that you have to do here. So first, make sure that your phone is running Android 7.0 or higher. Make sure that you have a computer that has Bluetooth and has the latest version of Chrome, which is the compatible browser that they currently have available. And then you have to use either Chrome OS, Mac OS, or Windows 10. So you do have a few options for those. So first thing you want to do is turn on 2-step verification on your Google account, and that's over at myaccount.google.com, which should look like this. And I will show you what mine looks like. Ta-da! It looks like I should probably erase some of my stuff in there. I've been using a lot of data recently. But you click up at the top, there is a little area for security. So you go to Secure Account and then click on 2-step verification and click Show All. And you can also go to 2-step verification settings. So on the 2FA panel, you just follow the on-screen prompts to set up 2-step verification, and then you can add your phone. And all of this can be found on the 2-step verification website, which I will also put that link down in the show notes. You will have to log in whenever you go to this page, but once you're logged in, you have full access to all the information that you can add for 2FA. So this menu gives you a lot of options to add 2FA to your account, like using a physical security key. You can see here that I have a Yubikey attached to my account that I added in 2014. I also added my Google Pixel 3 XL as of yesterday, so you can see that I've already added it here. But you can also use an authenticator app like Authy or Google Authenticator, and this is also where you can print your backup codes. Now, before I go any further, I know we've mentioned it before, but that link to the backup codes from that 2FA website that I was just showing you, that's really important. So click on that, print your list of backup codes, and in the off chance that somebody steals your phone, which you're about to set up as a verification option, or your Yubikey, or you lose your phone,
destroy your phone.
Yeah, all those things can happen. These backup codes can be used as 2FA or 2-factor verification codes. So keep this list somewhere safe, like a fire-resistant safe, or in your secret lair, or wherever you keep them, your bat cave. Just make sure that you don't forget where you hid them, or else you will have to go back in, make a new list of backup codes, and then print those because they will generate new ones for you.
If you can get into your account.
Fun. If you can get, yeah. So make sure that you do that before your device gets stolen or before you lose it, because you never know what will happen in the future. Just make sure that you are ready for the worst. Now back to the steps, you scroll down on this page and click on Set up an alternative step, which is right here. And you will see the option to add a phone, which is adding a security key. Now, if you already have an alternative set up under security key, you can also choose add a security key right here. Both of those will link you to the option to add your Android phone. And then you just find your phone in the drop down, which I'm not going to show you because it has a lot of personal information on that, and then you add it to your account. Now after that, you just click turn on, ensure that both the Bluetooth on your computer and your phone are set up and ready to go. They are enabled. They don't need to pair over Bluetooth. This is just used to authenticate between the 2 devices and ensure that the devices are located near each other. So they're location based. It's just making sure that if you actually are trying to log in, your phone is right there and it's saying, okay, this is the 2-factor device. Let me log in with that. We're good to go. So whenever you sign in to that Google account on a computer and Bluetooth is turned on, your Android phone will receive a notification. That notification simply says, are you trying to sign in? And then you click on that notification, follow the on-screen instructions to confirm it's actually you, and you're good to go. Yay! Now, I can already hear people out there. I'm the same way. I'm not a huge fan of Bluetooth for security. So personally, This is just me, but I will be sticking with the Yubikey, okay? Okay. Because while the Android device is more convenient, it also has its drawbacks. Like, for example, Bluetooth does have security issues. Now, I am pretty sure that they're using a protocol on top of Bluetooth to ensure that this is secure, but with any kind of wireless technology like that, there's always a potential for it to be hacked. Might happen in the future, might not, but I prefer to not give myself that potential vulnerability. Plus, a thief is more likely to steal your phone out of your hand than a keychain with a Yubikey on it because it just looks like a USB. And your phone battery could drain, leaving you without a way to log in. So
always awkward.
What I will say though is whatever you choose, anything is better than having no two-factor option on your online accounts. And that does include if you have an SMS option on a website that has two-factor authentication, sign up for the SMS option because that is a lot better than having nothing at all. Because somebody could easily get your password and sign into that account. It is much harder for them to get your password and get your phone and get that SMS code. So make sure you have 2FA. No matter what you choose.
And make sure you do your backup codes before you lose something. I will say there are reasons, like this is Google's Titan security key. There is a reason they use a physical device rather than having everybody who works for Google use their phones.
Yep.
It's because this is more secure, but this may be more than you want to deal with.
Right, exactly.
Especially because I know some people that lose keys and it's kind of like a hobby.
Me too. So you do have the option if you're prone to losing your keys, then set it up on your phone because that's way better than having no 2FA at all.
And if you're prone to losing your phones, we can't help you, but good luck.
Then get the Yubikey. So whatever you choose, let me know if this is something that you're interested in. I'm super excited about it because it does offer this as a convenient step for a lot more people. And that's what Google is really going for here. So I think it's cool. Thank you so much to Google for doing this. And I hope that I can see more people doing that in the future as well.
Android 7 and above, you are secured.
This week we have another Battlestation for you, and this one comes from Oren. So Oren said, "Hi Patrick and Shannon, I thought that I would share my portable Battlestation. It's got a laptop with two Asus ZenScreen MB16AC monitors and two iPads. The setup is very handy for search and rescue when I'm not geeking out watching Formula One. Keep up the awesome. That is TekThing," from Oren in Calgary.
Thank you, Oren.
Dude, Oren, that's so cool. And
that's
also,
really
BT Dubs, that's amazing in the back, that model.
That's a Saturn V booster.
That is?
That's actually an Apollo. That's an
so
Apollo
cool.
rocket thing.
That's very, very nice.
Oh yeah.
Very nice. I love it. So yes, thank you so much for sending in your Battlestation. And if you want to share your desk setup, we would love to see it. We are sharing them every single week. Ask at TekThing.com.
There it is. Hey, the Daring Space Adventure Saturn V rocket model playset.
What? Oh!
I've actually seen one of these.
Ooh, it's so cool.
We like rockets.
It's beautiful. Yes.
It is beautiful.
Beautiful.
Prone to falling apart, too.
Prone to falling apart.
Which is why Oren keeps his in the corner.
Yes. Thank you so much, Oren.
I think his is way cooler.
His is way cooler.
We love your questions, your tips, and your suggestions of products and ideas to check out. You can tweet at TekThing, at Snubs, or at Patrick Norton, or just email. We love email. Ask at TekThing.com. And a big shout out to our patrons, patreon.com/TekThing. You make the show possible. You pay the bills. Thank you. We really appreciate that. Join the crew that makes TekThing happen at patreon.com/TekThing.
Alan writes, "I purchased the Huawei MateBook X Pro and I love it. In addition to working at home on the couch, I set it up to be a workstation connected to a 27-inch monitor, keyboard, and mouse. And I want to leave the power supply in place when I travel, so I need to buy a travel charger. I've been looking at Anker wall chargers, but they come at all different watt ratings. What does USB-C power charging really require? Are there specific and small wall chargers that you would recommend? Thanks for all you do, Alan on Cape Cod."
That is an excellent place to be sitting inside in the winter with a laptop.
For real.
Cape Cod's awesome. Oh my goodness. First of all, Alan, this is incredibly convenient because I need a spare USB charger for a laptop.
Perfect.
And thanks to the excellent work of Benson Leung and Nathan Kay, I am profoundly paranoid about USB-C chargers because simply one, a lot of them suck as in not actually delivering voltage or amperage in the spec they're rating themselves for.
Yep.
And two, When they go wrong, they can damage your electronics or light things on fire, like your house, which is what we generally categorize under bad and things to avoid. And just to make things really interesting, some decent chargers get packed with cables that lean towards the running too hot and possibly lighting your house on fire side of things.
Oh boy.
And I won't even get into more arcane issues like, oh, let's go into this TI PDF and talk about USB PD power negotiations.
Oh boy.
For example, split power data object compromising the charging because literally your power supply and your laptop need to have a negotiation before charging can begin because it is the 21st century. Actually, okay, let me be honest. I'm not going to complain. For example, this Lenovo X1 Carbon, the rapid charge on this will take the 57 watt-hour battery to an 80% charge in 30 minutes. It's kind of glorious.
Wow.
I fear a little bit for long-term battery life, but being able to plug this in for half an hour and have hours of use is freaking awesome.
That's nice.
Now, just in case USB-C chargers is not complicated enough for you, a lot of the reviews are fake. And if you haven't seen it, The Hustle did this great article on inside the fake Amazon review complex, which is a wonderful walkthrough how somewhat less than scrupulous sellers on Amazon get all of their 5-star reviews for 2-star products. So your MateBook X Pro comes with a 65 watt USB-C charger. I dug it out of the specs. It's fascinating. If you've never read lots of specs, if you dig in Huawei's website, you can actually find the power adapter information.
Oh, yay.
As far as I know, this can't be found for sale anywhere.
Oh.
It's nice. I will say it's a 65 watt charger.
We tried.
It's
segment
small.
over.
No. Au contraire, my friend. But basically, short answer is you need a 65 watt charger, and if you want to take things easy, the power port speed, one USB-C port, cleverly named, for $37 on Anchor is going to take care of everything you need. It's going to, power delivery, 60 watt USB wall charger, Nexus 5X 6P, LG G5, Pixel C, MacBook 250, blah, 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 and it goes on and on and on and on. So some people are like, wait, won't that 65 watt power supply destroy my phone? No, that's part of what that whole handshaking thing was. Actually, I shouldn't say that because every time I try to read that.
It's intelligent.
Yeah, and the other thing is your devices only draw the power they need. It's not like forcing the voltage through your device trying to light it on fire. So anyway, I trust Anchor as a brand.
Me too.
I've used several of the USB power supplies. I own several of their batteries. And also, I got to say, I love any product that comes with an 18-month warranty. I've had to warranty return one product to Anchor once. They were really easy to deal with. And no, they didn't know who I was. I was just another guy that bought a thing on Amazon. So the crew at the Wirecutter, they picked that Anchor I was talking about as their second choice. They found the every time I say this, I want to say neckbeard. The NeckTech 4-port 72-watt USB wall charger with Type-C 60-watt power delivery. But that's pretty cool because it's got one big fat USB-C port and then 3 Type-A ports on there. They were testing with 19 laptops, and they were particularly meticulous about noting that this is USB-IF certified, which means it should be safe to use.
Cool.
And like I said, it packs 3 extra charging ports. One of the things you'll notice, especially with stuff you're buying on Amazon or Alibaba, is there's almost never a UL listing if it comes from outside of the United States. I know lots of people that makes them super uptight, and I completely understand. But at least they have been certified as doing the things that they're supposed to do to be a non-sucky power supply in terms of certification. The Wirecutter article, by the way, also has pics for anybody with a 15-inch MacBook Pro. If you're looking at the 87-watt Apple charger for that and going, what? They have options. Go to the Wirecutter and search for USB-C charger.
Yes.
USB-C is spec'd to carry a ton of power by mobile standards, up to 5 amps, like 100 watts. And while your laptop might only be calling for 45 or 65 watts, that's still a lot of power to shove through a tiny cable. Please don't cheap out on your power supply or your cables.
Agreed.
Because fires suck. Anchor Powerline 2 USB-C cables, excellent, by the way.
They're really good.
I own 3 of them.
Let us know if you have any power-related questions. This is something that I know both of us geek out about quite a bit, so we would love to answer them for you. Ask at TekThing.com, or you can tweet us at TekThing, at Patrick Norton, at Snoobs.
As soon as you said geeking out in power, I started thinking about Game of Thrones.
Oh, no spoilers, please. I am currently in the midst of trying so hard to review this teeny tiny little gadget. It's called the Arsenal Smart Camera Assistant over at witharsenal.com. I purchased one because I saw an ad for it on Instagrams. It's claimed to be a fancy smart assistant that can help you get these perfect photos via your DSLR's hot shoe and a camera app. So
it's the little box on top of the camera.
It's this teeny tiny box, and you plug it into your computer, or you plug it into your camera, and then you connect to it via your phone, and you can control the camera from your phone. At least that's what they tout. So you can see all these manual settings, and you should just be able to control it right there. So they say that with one tap of your phone, the Arsenal will scan the environmental view, and it will take the best photo possible. Which sounds cool.
The theory is that this is going to do a better job of calculating all of the settings inside the camera than the computational intelligence that was already packed into your camera by Sony or Canon or Nikon or whoever.
Yeah.
Okay.
So if I put this in manual mode, if I put my camera on manual mode as instead of automatic, instead of me having to go through everything, it's supposed to automatically change the ISO and the shutter speed and the aperture. It analyzes lots and lots of different factors to take the photo. Not just via a tripod either, but you're also supposed to be able to do this handheld, which is great. Now they also say that it'll do photo stacking, and this is where it takes multiple photo exposures in a very short span of time, and then it stacks those photos into the best shot possible. And you see this happen a lot with nighttime shots or sunset photos, especially with water and stuff like that. That's something that I really want to learn, but I haven't learned it yet. So I saw this and I was like, this is awesome.
That's essentially what your phone does when you take an HDR shot and it gives you that incredible dynamic range. It's what it's doing is taking a whole bunch of different settings or photos at different settings, smushing them together. There's just one little problem with the Arsenal.
Yeah, so here we have a picture of it doing photo stacking. So I can already use the Sony Smart Remote app on my A7R II to control the shutter on my camera, but it doesn't do the automatic adjustments. So I need to do this myself.
Well, it does, but this is supposed to be better than the adjustments that are built into the camera.
Yeah, it's supposed to. So I go out and I bought one. It's $200. And then I installed the iOS or the Android app in my case. It does have an iOS 1 too. And it looked kind of intensive to set up, but it was nothing that I couldn't do. And then that's where it totally failed me. And I was so sad. So after I updated the firmware on my Sony camera, and that in itself was an adventure. Oh, seriously, camera firmware? Just no. And then I updated the firmware on the Arsenal and I installed the app and I made sure that the application was all updated. All was good. And then I tried to connect the Arsenal via the app to my camera, and that's where my happiness just drained out of me. It sat on the connecting screen on my phone, and I got a screenshot of this, for upwards of an hour. So I finally pinged customer service after restarting the app and restarting my Wi-Fi connection to the Arsenal and all this other stuff. They recommended everything that I had already tried according to their website FAQs and their video tutorial. I also looked on some forums to see if other people had found some special sauce to make it work with an A7R II. Now they recommended turning off two-factor authentication on my Sony account.
Okay.
Which I was like, okay, just this one time. Now I had already just set up the Sony account and I didn't even set up 2FA yet, so I didn't have it turned on, so that wasn't the issue. So it wouldn't cause connection complications with the third-party device as it was. And then I started looking at the app reviews. Because
the app reviews are really funny.
So Patrick linked to it and he was just like, oh, it looks like you're not the only one.
There was a wonderful, there's a 5-star review of the iOS app that basically says, oh wait, there it is, great!
But
just scroll it, 5 stars, scroll down to the bottom. Where to go? Just hit more.
There it goes.
It works. When it works, it's gold, but the road there can be long some days. Hopefully the team will address this soon.
So I read that, and then I went over to the Arsenal app reviews over here, and this guy at the very top, he says, and I have a Pixel 3 XL, and this is why this is pointed out. Months after release, I still can't get my phone to link to the Arsenal device despite multiple hours-long attempts. Same thing I was dealing with. I can't connect my Pixel 3 XL to the Arsenal, blah, 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 blah. So I was like, cool, nothing is working. I am sad to say that even though the A7R2 is listed as a supported camera on their website, if I scroll all the way down here, here's the A7R2, and that's the camera I was trying to use it with, it just does not work. So I will say to Arsenal, it is a very, very new camera app, smart remote app company. They are brand new. They just kickstarted this thing, and they just started shipping the manufactured products to people that missed out on the Kickstarter. That's where I fell. Props to them for offering a 90-day return window, so I will be sending it back. It is new, so I'm hoping that one day I'll be able to purchase one and it will work. But I just hope that they work out the kinks, because this thing sounds so magical.
Well, some of the reviews of it by photography websites are finding a little less magic than they'd hoped for.
Yeah.
But I mean, I have sympathy, because to try to take every take an Arsenal and connect it to every camera and every possible phone permutation is never going to happen. Like, nobody's got the kind of resources for that, much less a small startup. But she also paid $200 for it.
I did. I was expecting it to work.
It'd be nice to use it once.
Yeah, just once, so I could review it at least. So unfortunately, I can't review the Arsenal yet, and I am hoping that I can in the future. I have tried so hard for y'all out there, but the moral of this story, for myself at least, is you can't cheat your way to an excellent photo. You still have to learn the theory behind photography, because smart devices sound really cool, but this one just ain't there yet. And I'm trying to stay positive. I'm hoping it will be there soon.
Keep an eye on the reviews on the Android phones.
Yeah, all right, yeah.
Good luck, Arsenal.
Well, let me know if you've gotten it working, though, if you have one of these at home, because I would love to see some actual shots from real life people, not just like their marketing videos, because I want to see people having this thing work. It sounds magical.
You want the magic.
I want the magic.
Anna wants the magic.
I mean, all right, we're not quite there yet. Ask at TekThing.com if you do have one, though. Let me know. Speaking
of magic, a big thanks to Hack5 for the studio space. Check out the Security and Privacy Podcast at hack5.org. They're magic, especially ThreatWire and Hack5, ladies and gentlemen. And if you haven't seen our boy Mubix get his Metasploit Minute on, you haven't lived. Then head on over to shop.hack5.org and check out the Plunderbug. It's a pocket-sized LAN tap that lets you bug Ethernet connections with USB-C convenience. All that in an Android app, too. This smart network sniffer enables passive recording or active scanning. If you haven't, it's awesome. Just snorf all the packets.
Snorf all the packets.
Remember what your kids are doing? Sniff their packets.
Oh, my. And remember,
it's not rude. It's just apparently I had some sugar during the break.
We both did.
Oh my
goodness. Remember, once in a while, put down your phone, step away from the screen, close your laptop, and do something analog, like I did a couple of weekends ago, and walk around Scottsdale, Arizona, specifically Old Town Scottsdale. This was a really cool area. I just love the vibe. I love that I was able to go into stores and buy authentic Native American jewelry, which was cool. They have antiques. They have really good food. This mission, which was awesome. So lots of really cool stuff that you can experience down there. I thoroughly enjoyed it. Highly recommend if you're in the Phoenix, Arizona area, or if you're visiting. Also, by BT Dubs, they have scooters. Electric scooters. They're all over the place. It's wonderful. So yeah, Old Town Scottsdale, Arizona. That's my choice.
Did you scoot around Scottsdale?
I was going to, but the friend I was with had never been on one before, so I was trying to get her on one with me, but she was like, "No, I'm scared," and I was like, "Girl, don't be scared.
That's a perfectly reasonable response to riding a motorized vehicle in the downtown area, surrounded by cars, while not wearing a helmet."
True.
I have feels.
True. We did not have helmets at the time, so it's probably a good thing we didn't go on
Brain
scooters.
buckets are good.
Yes.
I'm Adam Norton.
I'm Shannon Morse.
We'll see you next week on TekThing. What was your favorite meal when you were in Scottsdale?
Ooh, oh man, there were so many good meals. I went to this awesome ice cream parlor that's been there for apparently decades, which was amazing. That's not a meal though. And what else?
Ice cream can be a meal, just eat it instead of regular food.
That's true. That is very true. Hold on, I wonder if the restaurant I went to is in here anywhere. Dining, there we go. Our picks. Oh man, I'll have to find it for you, but I had some really, really good.
Did you say boozy milkshakes?
Yeah, it did say boozy milkshakes.
Joel, I'm a recovering alcoholic. Wait, stop! Boozy milkshakes.
Boozy milkshakes. I had some really good Mexican food while I was there.
Tequila?
Yes. Just a little. Tacos? Yes. Tequila? Yeah. I mean, yes. Of course.
You're in the American Southwest. You should have tequila.